This is Dawn. I am the Gun Muse, and let me get to where. There we go. We got a chat going. Well, we should have a chat going here shortly. I've got to do the you know what's. Got to go in here and do the YouTube. I shouldn't have to be concerned about too many people competing with me because most of the douchebags that are on the left who have their own podcast late at night just don't want to do it out there on the street in California. How cruel am I? I didn't vote for the woman who didn't know that the word URL meant know the website of the city you're the mayor of. You voted for her. You got her. You spent a little, in 2018, this same place was on fire. So the same, and they didn't have any water. Now remember, in California, all your movie stars sleeping on the street, remember you volunteered your time for that manager who told you it's a good idea that you protect the field mouse and not your home. Because that's why they didn't have any water. They protected the migration habits of the California field mouse instead of running fire lanes up in there. You know, I gotta get my stuff done. Studio, YouTube, blah, blah, blah. Go hell. It's been a little funny the last month, right? You shouldn't be a smug asshole about it, but a great big I told you so goes a long ways. And instead, the left is going, you know what we're going to do? We're going to pretend someone held us back and forced us to say stupid things and try to support stupid people and change the minds of stupid voters. Sorry about the cough tonight. It's going to be bad. Went and did some eye surgery thing. Oh, my hat. My Stetson. Woo-hoo. Went and got me a new Stetson fitted. All right. They got my new Stetson fitted. It's for Space Baby 3000's wedding in England. Got him a pair of boots. It's kind of hard to shop for 14 double E size boots. Just saying. I hope they fit. That's what she said. All right. Videos, lives. Here we go. I got to click some buttons here. No internet connection. Please try again. What? Retry. I'm pretty sure. Oh, wow. It's damn sure slow. Damn sure slow. Oh, that's going up to TikTok, which has once again banned me because I don't have nice things to say about the Chinese. And all the Chinese bogus accounts in the game I was playing have suddenly asked why I went silent. What's up with that? Well, hold on. I see some stuff in my YouTube here that is not friendly at all. All right. The other thing, hold on, let me take my hat off because I want to put it on every few days so I can keep the shape. I tipped the kid $50 to shape the thing for me. He did about 30 seconds on the Steam thing, which is all he had to do. I got a bone horn, if you want to. A place where I chipped my skull once upon a time. Just dug a big divot right in the middle of it when I hit a steel object while flying around the ice. Okay. I don't see, man, there's something, you know what? This is weird. Makes me wonder if some very selfish internet people who lived in these areas of the fires redirected internet access quality to a different area of California or another part of the world for their own personal uses and purposes. And I do mean for security reasons. You know, you got to secure some of your connections. AQ World Ashmont has subscribed. I don't know who that is. AQ World. Wonder who AQ World is. All right. Anywho, man, I have been. Matter of fact, I got one more trip over to Lubbock next Wednesday. That's a 6-hour trip minimum, just in driving. And I got to go over this time to do what I went over to do last time. Because I got told that by law, by the Biden law, I have to have 2 appointments for an eye doctor to see me. So I drove 6 hours to read an eye chart. An eye chart that I read earlier that day at my other eye doctor, who rated my quality of vision and who's the one who referred me due to the things he saw in my eyes with the images he took to the doctor who wasn't doing it. And apparently it's because I threw a fit on a Wednesday, because Wednesday's surgery day. And so what they do, they made me wait until after all the surgeries were done for the doctor to come over and tell me my surgery would be next week. Because the staff did everything they could to cancel the first appointment where I read an eye chart. And then they wonder why I'm mad. I just drove 6 hours to read an eye chart, which has got nothing to do with the reason that I'm at the eye doctor. I wasn't there to get glasses. I was there to get surgery. Reading that eye chart, they wasn't going to do shit for that surgery. They just pissing me off. We've been going through. Well, we got some people popping in now. Hello all. Hit multi-stream. Oh, go to YouTube. Get off the top chat. Go to live chat. Multi-stream. All right. Oh, yeah. All righty. Yeah, I've been one of the things I was going to address. I lost 303 subscribers this last week. Some great big Google purge, YouTube purge. But I only lost 300 out of 10,000. So I do get a lot more views after the fact. And what it looks like happened is a whole bunch of people who had subscribed way back when. I got my monetizing turned back on, and then I turned it back on. And YouTube went and told people who hadn't seen me in 3 years, hey, go check out a video of gun muses you hadn't seen. And then they realized, like, I don't want to play that game no more. Freaking duh. Right? Freaking duh. That's how that works. Don't want to do it. Can't make me. Try and show me that game. I'll punch you in the nards. So they're talking about all the people who abandoned their cars to flee from the fire because somebody was out there giving them the January 6th instructions. Come on in here. Nothing bad's going to happen. You all want to come in and see this. Flee. Run for your lives. And so the fire department's like, hey, if you're going to flee your car in the middle of the street, please leave your keys in it. And like it was almost 2 full days later, they showed pictures of the bulldozer pushing the cars off the road so that they could clear the ability for the fire trucks to get through. So for 2 days, they didn't even want to get a fire truck through. Now I'm going to tell you my little deal on the fires, guys. I, being a farm boy, am well aware of how to put out a fire. I have chased prairie fires, jumped fire lines by hand, had dogs follow me while I do it. I've told you the stories before. And the first evening, they showed the helicopter scene of the fires, and I saw them spread out in 7 locations. I said, human beings did that. Don't get me wrong. I don't think the homeowners did it. The homeowners have been fighting the state of California about the fact that the governor gave a pass on these highline wire poles that were so old and decrepit that every time the wind blows in that area, one fell to the ground and started small fires. It's what started the 2018 fire. They've done nothing to correct it. And right now, I think as Adam Carolla just pointed out, wait till these people try to get a building permit. Because if you don't know, Adam Carolla /comic /conservative YouTuber is also builds houses. And he says, wait till you find out you need a building permit. No, wait till you find out you need a building permit where all your neighbors are trying to get a building permit. And everyone has to get an architect who is familiar with the area's rules to build up new plans. You can't put back what burned down. What burned down is illegal. And it's probably going to lead you to who set the fires to burn things down. I'm telling you, a bunch of 1950s houses that are constantly burning wood to run in their fireplace in their bougie $25 million houses are about to find out that even though the fireplace is the only thing left standing, you won't have one in your new home. And I'd be willing to bet that if a car did stall and blocked up traffic, it was probably an electric car that couldn't finish its charge and ran out of power down at the bottom of the hill. And no, you can't leave them in neutral. Doesn't work that way. As soon as it loses power, the brakes lock up. So somebody tried to get down the hill, said, oh, it'll be enough, I'm going down the hill. Then it ran out of power. Probably because they were running the air conditioner. That burns a lot of electricity. Yeah, sorry about that cough. I don't even know how loud. Hold on, I'm going to do a test cough. Let me get where things. Yeah, that's loud. I'm going to turn this down just a oh, I'm dizzy from that one. All right, so this is going to be a little softer. And I'm going to lower my voice a little bit so that I don't irritate. Because I went to the doctor yesterday, every time I come back from the doctor, I have one of these coughs. Every time. I catch whatever's flowing around in there. Somebody's in there hacking and coughing, and it ain't me. I went to the doctor. I hadn't coughed in like 4 or 5 months. Me haven't coughed 4 or 5 months. But yeah, this fire thing, hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars, and I'm going to dare say billions of dollars. Biden just promised that all the people whose houses burned down are going to be made whole. And then 3 sentences later, it says, I think my son's house burned down. If it hadn't, the fire started there probably a few hours after the press conference. They did arrest somebody starting a fire, and probably right after Biden said everybody's going to get all their money. 100%. You know, right now, land values are at their peak. They can't get more expensive. We are right there at the bubble point that Obama brought on with the fact that, you know, that got Obama elected. You want to get right down to it. Because it burst. And then they blamed the Republican when there was nothing but the old YouTube videos, and there's still a few of them out there that will show you the guys in Congress, the conservatives versus the liberals in Congress, where they kept, and the left kept saying, there's no such thing as a housing crisis. It doesn't exist. The right wing are making it up. Right wings were making up the fact that there was a fire hazard in this particular valley in California. You know, it's right now there is at least 30,000 new homeless in California. Man, whatever friend answered the phone to let you move in, they better be a good friend, because you might be there for years if you have to work anywhere in that area. Because finding 10,000 new homes. For those who don't, is it this year? Hold on, I got to Google it. I want to state it, what I'm looking up. When is the Los Angeles Olympic Games coming? Next, Los Angeles Olympic Games. 2028. Which means in just 2 years, if you want to go to the Los Angeles Olympic Games, you better be reserving somebody's Airbnb. Oh, wait, they'll burn to the ground. Since we're going to have nice places for the world to stay, you better make a great big promise that all them union workers will get every nickel they demand to stay working. That's what a government 100% guaranteed means. The former Speaker of the House, Newt Gingrich, was on TV this evening, giving some direction to Donald Trump when he gets in. Don't take the money away that Biden just promised. Just lock it down. Not $1 touches a Californian that's in any form of the government. Not $1. You need $4 million to rebuild your house? We'll pay the contractors. You deal with the contractors. You build what you need to build. But I guarantee you, right now, since that election's over, this was an opportune time for the leftist of all leftists to make sure that rich people wind up buying a different house, move to different neighborhoods, right? I guarantee you there's got to be a smart, what's his name? The guy from that 70s show who's now on the Shark Tank every once in a while. He's conservative. Maybe he's smart. You go out and you buy an entire development complex. An entire one. All at once. Or you just build one that's outside the LA with the full DJ 84, how you doing, girl? All right. Or you turn around and you I lost my train of thought. My gosh. or you build a complex with the intent of full high-speed internet, full YouTube studios like what I built here. How lucky am I that I have 2 very nice working YouTube studios? Of course, I don't have this one lit for shit, and I just don't want to walk out. There's 4 inches of snow on the ground. And for those of you that are in 25 inches of snow right now, I used to live there, and I still own some land. Don't go outside. I ain't even going outside to watch the dog play. The Malwar went outside and played in the snow today, come back, brought me one of her toys, and hit me with that thing. It was like being slapped with a wet mop. Yeah. So she got a new toy for playing in the house. We got one of them balls that bounces and vibrates on its own. She's got a new toy. She's pretty worn out playing with that. Her and the other dog are fighting over that one. The Jake, the good dog, he said, I like that ball. That's my ball. But my wife the other day was like, I make entirely too much money when I spend $90 on 2 toys for my dogs. Because we also got them what's called a herding ball. It's a great big dog-proof beach ball, so that they can attack it and tackle and move it with their nose. Because they both love chasing, and she loves bonking the ball with her nose like a seal. So we're going to get her out there with a ball in her mouth, and she's going to go running into that thing, hitting it. We'll get some film on it. Got some film somewhere. Ashley, my nurse, got some film of them playing out in the snow. Both them German dogs think snow is the most wonderful thing you've ever seen. And I got to say, so I should get my dog food sponsor to sponsor some of this show, because the Malwar is 3.5, 4 inches bigger than she should be. And she doesn't care how cold it is outside. Her fur has been perfect in this snow wet. She come in from outside about 8 o'clock this evening. She went outside and rolled in the snow, had a big old play day, did her business. Come running back in the house at full speed, jumped 25 feet through the air, landed on the couch where we got a great big fuzzy pillow that's all hers, dried herself off, and then moved to the other side of the couch after she dried herself off of the pillow. She didn't want a wet spot in the couch either. So, smart dog. Yeah. DJ, what you been playing? What you been doing? My Age of Apes thing is going through a merger right now. Kingdom 65 is merging with Kingdom 71. They're doing a war to find out who gets to keep their kingdom number. And I dropped my alliance. Same reason that I paid $2,000 to leave the previous kingdom. And that is the people in charge keep electing R4s who think it's their job to harass me about a bubble. Well, DJ, I got a brand new alliance in server 65. So come over there and play. It's called Gun, Gun. You can hang out in an alliance. And basically, I started over so that there's things you miss when you go into the old kingdoms. So I'm back over here at the beginning, and it's resetting some of the how-tos. So I'm learning some of the how-tos. But I basically, so as the new 71s and the 65s come in, I saw all the fluff power. I have maxed out some gear, lots of gear, most of the gear. And I'm 70, 80 million power below the guys that are coming in, which means no one's been wanting to fight them in their KVKs. And they built up a lot of fluff power. So they're very good at bubbling, or they got a Ticket to Ride Legacy game finale. I think we talked about that before. I need to start drinking some of my MCT oil before I go on here. I have had The worst dizzy spells the last week. And if they don't stop at least 4 to 5 days before I get on the plane, which is Tuesday after next, I'm going to have to cancel my flight. And it looks like I'm going to have to deal with getting flight credit, not getting a refund. If that's the case, I'll wait till the last minute to cancel my flight and see if the weather cancels it for me. I can just get a full refund. But I can't really do that because I bought the cowboy boots for, hold on. Oh! Where are they at? Woo! Well, I had my hat on earlier. Had my Stetson. I showed Drew in the thing. I said, man, I'm thinking about buying these Stetsons. When I saw the Stetson, when I looked at the full-length mirror, I was like, man, I look like a mean SOB. So we got him a set of new shit kickers. Deluxe. Shiny, shiny. He had some very specific requests. One of them was a working sole. And basically, these Ariats are about all you can get for a good working sole. But he's right. He said, wow, holy crap, they're going to be hard to break in. The leather's thick on these. They're work boots. Hold on, let me not put them on the ground because do that. It's supposed to be, if I'm looking at it, you don't do that. Well, I didn't put a budget limit on him. I was sitting there. The only restriction we had was I was running out of battery power. I had a long-ass day. And then I had to go to another surgery, supposedly, which just wound up being me checking my eyes, taking 4.5 hours. And then I bought the boots before I left because there wasn't a lot of selection of boots in his size, and we did. I held up I took shitloads of pictures of different kinds of boots, different styles, and it was that working sole that limited what he could get. Everything else had a dancing sole. Well, that's normal. I have a delay to where I can see what you're doing so I can cancel it in case it's rude. That kind of stuff. Hold on here. The chat box. I don't know. Let me turn off the... Oh, yeah. That's a stream. Oh, no, it's muted. That's muted. Chat box. There we go. Mute the chat box. There we go. No more oh, yes. Holy crap. I'm dizzy from just standing up walking behind that counter thing. That's my only restriction for going to London. I can't be trying to get through a freaking airport passing out, freaking sleeping in it. I fall asleep in a freaking busy P-way. And I just getting up and going 25 feet to the bathroom. Freaking about, I can't make it back to the couch. But my eyes are bad, really, really bad. And I think I may have been taking some of the wrong pills for a few days. Because last night, I swear to God, all of a sudden my skin felt like it was on fire. I was like, that means I'm having Lyrica withdrawals. I knew it happened the last time. So maybe once I build up the Lyrica, it'll stop me from hurting so bad in the spine. But what I suspect has happened is I had an epidural in my lower spine, and I can't feel. I actually can stand up straight now. So when I stand up, I look like I should be standing up. But the spinal cord is rubbing on something back there, even though they swear to God it's not. After I spend a day walking around like I spent yesterday, I walked to 2 doctors and walked around the store and come back, went back shopping a second time to make sure I bought my hat. Oh, you didn't see my hat. You come in late. Got my hat there. Got my gangster lean on my hat. Yeah. I put my hat on, I look like Charlie Daniels. Yeah. Terrible problem with the lights in this room. The green screen is too close to the overhead lights, and these lights are not, well, me having headaches makes these kind of a pain in my ass. Yeah. Kind of a big pain in my ass. Now I'm going to be keeping this short tonight just because. Who's our third viewer just showed up, man? I wish they'd show me names of people that are just lurking. YouTube, you want people to stay and do things, you got to give me the tools to engage the audience. It is not my fault you're morons who don't use your own products. I've been slowly rebuilding this stuff. Like I said, I lost 300 subscribers, which didn't surprise me. But I've gained 1,400 since I came back 7 months ago. So I lost 300 somewhere else during a first of the year purge or something like that. Tickled by it. Oh, you know what helps? Hold on. So, where's it at? Let me go here. Share the stream link. Copy to clipboard. Here we go. Let's go to Discord. How's the weather at where you're at there, DJ? Is it, I mean, besides cold, you're down in Louisiana. I bet it's cold for you guys. Try whiteout survival. Hold on. I don't know what she's doing. Okay, so at all right, there's that. Oh, hell yeah, it's got my cowboy hat on there. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't buy boots for myself.
Oh, yeah.
We got about 6 inches of snow. Which sucks for my truck because my recent, well, I got both trucks here now. I got my 05 four-wheel drive, which I love driving. So I've been driving around in my F-150 Platinum. Blows hot air or cold air up your ass, whichever one you choose. The nice leather seats massages my back. And I jump back into my 05 F-150. And my new truck keeps me between the lanes when I'm reaching for a soda. Yells at me when I'm about to hit something. All them kind of good features. I jump back in my 05, which is like crawling back to the Flintstone days, except for my 05 F-150 drives nicer than my new one ever did, ever will. It drives nicer than my Cadillac. I spent $8,000 on the suspension on that truck. It's one of the reasons I didn't trade it off. They only offered me $2,000 in trade. I'm like, I spent $8,000 on the suspension, and it's not lifted. It's nice. It articulates. It does what a McLaren claims to do. That truck will hold the road going 80 miles an hour in a 35 mile an hour curve, and it's an F-150. And it'll do it without shaking your teeth out. Light snow. Well, snow's a good thing. So what do you think about all them Californians who just polluted more smoke and what they call what the carbon emissions, more carbon emissions than the entire state of California has put out in the last 29 years? They did in the last 8 days. Simply because they saved the field mouse from having to get squashed by a car, an electric car, driving up and down Mulholland Boulevard. That was the excuse for not letting them do anything like make a fire hydrant work. The fire hydrant things, I don't know which news channels you guys are watching, but the fire hydrant things, you guys got to understand, when you hear that, oh, Biden's going to force the insurance companies to pay those bills and not pull out. Why? Why would an insurance company pay to put back a home to someone who didn't pay their premiums because they canceled their insurance?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it does burn every year. You know, in the area, well, so the insurance companies pulled out, and they've been pulling out for years. And the reason they are is because they knew they go do an assessment. No one could put a fire out. And that's why they said, and we're not writing a policy in that area. We don't care that you're a movie star with a $25 million home. We know that if you have a bunch of drunk morons over and you spill your barbecue pit, we're writing you a $25 million check because the fire department ain't putting it out. Well, this fire kind of got exploded because I think it hit P. Diddy's underground lube bunker and spread the fire a little faster. That's my joke. You see anybody else use that joke, they stole it from me. I sat all day trying to think up a joke that I hadn't heard anyone else put out. Why does it keep catching fire? Very simply, they're anti-human in California. The people in that area have had these houses in their families for 50 years. You know, you're talking about the homes that burned down, Lucille Ball lived in. Gone. Ronald Reagan lived in a house up there. Gone. Every one of the leftists that told you, vote for Kamala. Gone. They burned to the ground because they wouldn't allow water to keep in the reservoir. We have the same problem here in New Mexico. This is one of the reasons I'm so in depth on this stuff. Every year, 10 days before the 4th of July, which it rains most of our annual rainfall every year, 10 days before the 4th of July. The state of New Mexico opens up the reservoir gates and lets our water go, and so no one can use their jet ski to jet ski on the public lake because the water's too shallow. Or they got to stay so far away from the dam because it's open, letting water out. You literally get sucked through it if you got too close. That kind of crap. It's always an excuse. And when you hear it on the news, and why does it keep catching fire, DJ? Is because not enough people in California said, why would we vote for this dumb-ass mayor? Please, I can't broadcast them to you. Go look at what the mayor did. She got on a plane back from her paid vacation, right? Where she was greeting the president of some new... In other words, the floodgates of infinite money were open to anybody who was a devout Democrat. Because the mayor of LA needed to be in Guyana. Was that what it was? I think it was Guyana. To greet that president that won their election. Why?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But you also have the fake FBI agents threatening to kidnap the governor every election cycle there too, DJ. And if you're unaware of what I'm talking about, when I talk about them faking the governor's kidnapping, they did it under Clinton in '96, and then they tried it again, and both times it was the FBI trying to convince people to form a militia group so that someone could come out and say something stupid like, the worst terrorists in the country are the homegrown white supremacists. I don't know, maybe you've heard that. Maybe you heard that recently. Yeah. Yeah. Them homegrown white supremacists are the worst terrorists that we have. Of course, none of them have done anything. Apparently, the worst thing the homegrown white supremacists have done in the last 9 years is try to stop somebody from tearing down a historical statue. Because somebody on the left said, hey, that's racist. And I was like, no, it's a memorial of the War of Northern Aggression. Some of you call it the Civil War. But it was the War of the Northern Aggression. The South did not rise up and go north. The North decided to cut them off from their money, their peoples, and their incomes. And while that may be slavery, that's still a death result. It's almost like cutting off everybody's water and fire resources and letting their house burn and then going, oh, you know what? These regulations were on the book before your house burned. Good luck pulling a permit. Yeah, you're not even going to get a permit to get somebody started on the blueprint. Not without bribing a Democrat who just got elected. Yeah. And the Democrat, and do pull up the YouTube video of the mayor who flew back after 18 hours. And the guy was sitting there in the airport. One of the reporters greeted her in the airport. Do you have anything to say about that today? And she just stone-faced, kept quiet. And the person next to her is muttering, I can't believe they're asking us about these fires. I'm like, at no point in time during that 18-hour flight back, while her city burned, did someone think, you know what? They might ask me about these fires. I better have a good answer. Nope. Nobody thought of that. Just like they didn't think it would burn. The 2018 fire, who's that woman that run the show? Jillian something? She ran the Fat Camp show. Where she go in there and take somebody's 290 pounds and make them do bicycle pedals and run up and down, driveways until they were 105 pounds. Jillian something or another. The big leftist. She was a great big leftist until her house burned to the ground in 2018. All of a sudden, now she's on Fox News going, I can't believe the way these politicians act. Why can't you believe it? They did it before. Jillian, why weren't you out there holding up signs and said, Democrats let my house burn? She didn't do that. She's complaining now that it's happening to others. But again, that's TV time. And right now, nobody has a podcast studio in their $25 million homes to pretend to be a podcaster. See, I can pretend to be a podcaster. My house is not burned to the ground. I got a new refrigerator. I don't know if I got my new refrigerator. I'm very pissed off at Samsung. I'm going to do some videos on my refrigerator because I'm mad. I bought a Samsung Bespoke. That's got the 24-inch Android display in the refrigerator. Got 9 cameras in it. Got photo recognition on the cameras. Will tell you what's in your refrigerator, identify it, and then tell you what recipes you can make with what's in your refrigerator. Only it won't hook to anything. And it's a smart hub for any other Samsung devices you might buy. Only the smart hub doesn't work. None of the help buttons are real. They changed they updated the software. It doesn't talk to anything anymore. Yeah. Luckily, their software is open source. And simple things like send a recipe over to the damn refrigerator, which I've been trying to do for now 2 weeks. Type a recipe into my phone, send it to the refrigerator, and have the refrigerator tell me what I need to order.
Oh, yeah.
Being affected by their own policy. I don't think it will. Look, the 10,000 new homeless as of today, they're not going to be living under a bridge. These people have money. Where this is going to affect, and this really gets into conspiracy that I'm going to start. Tell everybody, GunMuse started this conspiracy because it's not a conspiracy that a human being set fires in 7 different places. I saw the video. Fire didn't jump that way. Fire spread out so evenly that they could burn a perfect strip down the freaking valley. And then it jumped valleys. But the conspiracy here is somebody cleared the land and so that they could build brand new homes in the LA area for the games. Right? That way kings and queens can feel good about coming to LA. Donald Trump is not going to go out there and clear up all the bums off the street or make them sweep up the human feces on the sidewalks just because a bunch of people came from overseas. He might be so embarrassed by the left. He might send a crew out to do just that. Says, I can't believe we have company coming over and it looks like this. But I don't think he's going to be the kind of parent who lets the kids clean the house. Not if he wants it to look good for the people that are coming. This leaves a lasting impression for other governments. The Olympics Games have been a bragging point, and China upped the game when they hosted the games. They cleared out an entire city so that no one would even smoke a cigarette, and there was not one wisp of tailpipe smoke cloud in Beijing when they held their games. The entire time those games were in Beijing, that weather was crisp and clear. And I can tell you one thing about that area up there, because I used to go party up there in those hills. They love to run their fireplace when the guests are over. And one fireplace will smoke out the entire valley all by itself. And there were dozens upon dozens of them. Not to be outdone. It's one of the reasons in New York, so watch for something similar in New York. New York outlawed outdoor pizza ovens because they're wood burning. Because the wood burning pizza ovens will smoke the crap out of your neighbors. Doesn't matter which way the wind's blowing, it's blowing away from your house. I ran out of cough drops. It's all right. I'll wrap this stuff up anyway. Who else we have just come in here? We had someone else just come in here. I didn't even look at let me go here. Analytics. Let me see what happened. Like, holy crap, guys. Man, I appreciate you guys coming on. I'm going to try. Oh, look at that. Edit. Why isn't that coming on? That should be automatic. All right. So, since you guys have I'm going to show you guys what I did. Let me get over here. Well, you know what? I can do it from over there. I forgot I made this work. All right. Am I doing it? I'm doing it. Since you guys have been running 18 minutes, right? Did I do it? Oh, did it all right. Okay. I put the ad roll at 18 minutes. Because I know Google's going to turn around and give you an ad at when you start. And for the guys that are coming in, I'm not getting a ton of stuff, but I can promise you network traffic is being rerouted around some California stuff. I went through this when my server caught on fire back in 08. They just rerouted the traffic all the way around that place, and I never got my 26 million people that went to my news agency back. Here's that. Say save. There we go. Yeah, this has been a interesting move going on here. Biden's trying to burn the world down. If you listen to the news. But let's talk some reality. Biden wasn't leading this country before he lost the election. So if you're really upset about all the stupid shit that Biden's been doing, just remember, he ain't been doing any of it. Pardon a bunch of murderers? Child rapists? Biden didn't do that. His staff did. Who knows? I bet they took a vote of all the people stealing women's clothes at the airport. Woohoo! Let them go. Yeah. I think the stupid thing today was Biden turning around going, oh yeah, my son's got a house out here. It may have burned. No, it survived. And I got a new granddaughter. Great-granddaughter. Way to read the room, Joe.
Oh, yeah.
I think everybody is seeing what I've been saying for the entire 4 years when I am on or before that. Do not look at that president. It's the people around him. You hire 80,000 IRS agents. Don't worry about them auditing your taxes. Worry about them hiring 80,000 people that sit in a cubicle and then go knock on doors during elections. They're not there to do the taxes. They're there to burn the government money to put the left back in charge again. And you also got to remember that when you hire 80,000 people who are by law forced to be union workers, 2 hours per month. Holy crap. Hold on. Let's do some math. I'm going to do a math problem. This should be fun. Let's go here. No, let's go here. And we're going to go, where's my calculator? Is that my calculator? There's my calculator. So 80,000 times 12 months, 960,000 times 2 hours per month. It's 1.92 million. With an average salary of 140,000 a year. Let's see if I can pull up another calculator. Okay. 140,000 divided by 2,080 hours in a year. That's $67 an hour those IRS agents make. $67 an hour. So hiring 80,000 IRS agents gave the Democratic Party a direct donation of $128 million. Prove my math wrong, I dare you. Math is an absolute science. It is or it isn't. No, I'm not sad they're leaving. I'm sad that people don't pay enough attention to the simple things you should know how to do, which is calculate how much money they just stole in front of your face. And I'm telling you, Biden come out and says everyone's going to be made 100% whole. That's when somebody else walked out and burned their house to the ground. I get my house back even if I don't have insurance. Click. Burned it to the ground. He got caught. But the reality is they're going to be made whole in the richest neighborhood there ever was. And when we put houses back in when the F5 tornado and the left come in there, the Discovery Channel got started in Greensburg, Kansas when I was doing that mess. You had to buy 3 lots to put a modern house back. And we explained to the mayor at the time, it wasn't Dixon. Dixon's the one that replaced the moron mayor, that no one could afford to live in the houses they were requiring people to build, because the number one source of income in Greensburg, Kansas was pregnant farm daughters. All right. She gets pregnant, goes on the welfare. Dad buys a $6,000 house, and she lives in it for $1,200 a month worth of rent, plus all her welfare stuff, because she's an independent woman. That was the number one source of income in Greensburg, Kansas. You're replacing a house that would cost $6,000 with a home that was going to cost $130,000. Because like I said, you had to buy 3 lots to meet the modern standard. And that's before you got into any green crap that they were dreaming up on the fly. We ousted that mayor. I helped do that. And but still they wanted to work. They wanted to keep some portions of it. Since it was Greenburg, people had come into towns. They were building buildings with styrofoam bricks and things like that. Greensburg said, hey, how about we tax locally, a sales tax, and we build a training center. And inside that training center, all you people selling left-wing freaking cockadoodles on how to stuff a wall full of horse shit and save the planet. I wish I was kidding. We'll give you a place to train in horseshit stuffing 101. And I think they did do that. They tried to build a complex. That way all these companies would have a reason to have an instructor there. They'd have a reason to have students come back there. Again, big flaws. Town didn't have an airport big enough to have people fly into it. So you go and get 20 salesmen to sell your horseshit stuffing plastic bags. And you got to train them on how to zip tie them just right so the horseshit stays in the wall. But you have to fly into Wichita and drive 180 miles to a place that doesn't have a hotel. Lots of failures to think ahead by the left and people who want money. Sometimes it just sounds good. Sounds like you're being the nice guy instead of being the mean guy saying, no, look, we'll triple your house loss. You lost a $6,000 house. We'll pay you $20,000 for it. And that's it. Take your $18,000, $20,000 as a profit that it is, and whatever you can sell the land for. I'll tell you right now, I bought those lots for $1,200 each. Okay, when I was buying the lots. So, but they forbid me from putting a garage, a steel building, designed to withstand 140 mile an hour winds. Remember, a tornado blew away their town. I was forbidden from putting it up because, and I quote, they were afraid I might sleep in it. Well, no need to be afraid. I don't live there. I needed a place to store materials to build other people's homes. And yeah, instead of sleeping on a piece of plywood draped across 2 sawhorses in the one house that didn't blow away in town in their garage, I planned on building a small room with some bunk beds in my little garage of my own. I was already sleeping in a garage. I just wasn't going to be allowed to sleep in my garage. Yeah. So if I got disdain for the way the left thinks, it hasn't changed, DJ. I'm not surprised, and I don't think anybody will learn their lesson. Right now, the mayor is literally staring stone-faced away from the cameras and not even acknowledging that a question has been told when no other reporter is talking, because every reporter wanted to hear the answer to that question. So they all shut up. And you just hear clearly him asking a question, her not answering. She just flew 18 hours to be with their people, but thought it was disrespectful somebody asked about them fires. And then somebody printed out the shit has happened sheet for her to read from. And what nobody did was go back over the battle plan of what happens when shit happens. No one went back over the battle plan and say, hey, we built a website on where you could find help. And then she's so dumb, as she's reading it, she says, and you can go to URL. In other words, the mayor of one of the richest towns in the country doesn't know what the internet is, doesn't know how it works, doesn't realize she should have known something the minute she read it, even out loud. She did another faux pas too. There's something else she did. Go watch the speech. It's hilarious. Comedian's wet dream. Watching a leftist improvise during tragedy. I feel sorry for the people on the ground who are yelling and screaming at Governor Newsom. Yep, you're yelling and screaming at him. He didn't care yesterday. As of today, he's got a golden effing ticket. He's not going to give it away. You may remember that phrase. Oh, yeah. All the building unions over there who want to bypass all the regulations and they want to use emergency powers to do it. It's a golden effing ticket for somebody who wants to run against Donald Trump in 4 years. How much money can they scrape out of these sorry SOBs who told you they know how to pick a winner in government and you don't? You know what Donald Trump's been saying about the last 2 years? That area of California is a fire hazard. Literally none of that's making the news. They didn't go back and say, well, what did Donald Trump have to say about this area? I'll tell you what he had to say. It's a fire hazard. I think, like I said, the money's already going to be allocated. And if you're wondering why the money's allocated when we have a Republican Congress now, no one went to Congress and voted an emergency decree. Because the California congressman that got ousted, removed, for those who don't understand those big words, as the Speaker of the House. And then they kept saying those sorry SOB 13 Republicans who keep wanting the budget balanced. Before, the reason he got ousted was because he gave Joe Biden an unlimited checkbook. As long as the checks were under $100 million each check, he can write as many of them to as many programs as he's wanting to. Hell, there's 7 fires out there. That's $700 million right there just on the fires. Hell, there's probably 7 supply centers that need to house people. There's another $700 million in checks being written today. Congress needs to have an emergency session to put a stop to blank check writing right now. It's actually illegal under the Constitution to write a law based on an immediate disaster, emergency, or event, because you are acting in emotion, and that's not what the federal government is intended to be. You cannot react. You have to act. You got to plan ahead. The minute California put those citizens' lives in danger, somebody at the federal government should have said something other than, Is your new mayor going to be gay? Yeah, that's where we're at with that.